Das Thema heißt ja Wirtschaft, Wirtschaften und die Zukunftsfähigkeit der Wirtschaft. Und mich interessiert hier zu hören, wie die Vertreter aus der Wirtschaft die Situation sehen. Weil wir aus der Sicht der Umwelt sehen ganz klar, dass es auf diesem Weg nicht mehr weitergehen kann.
Das heißt, unser Wirtschaftssystem ist nicht zukunftsfähig.
Das heißt es, absolut. Wir können nur weiter wirtschaften oder weiter überleben eigentlich sogar auf diesem Globus, wenn wir auf Nachhaltigkeit setzen. Und das bedeutet, dass die Wirtschaft von ihrem Primat wegkommen muss und eine Gleichwertigkeit stattfinden muss zwischen Ökologie, Ökonomie und sozialer Verträglichkeit.
What are your expectations to the 13th Dialogue on Science?
I hope that it will be controversial, that different alternatives to the future will be discussed, and that there will be kind of a fight over which model is best.
What do you think? Is our economic system competitive to the future?
I think that if the economic system builds on the idea of unlimited growth and unlimited progress, this cannot be sustainable. And I think that, as I see it now, other developing countries are now mimicking what we did, like also trying to progress and reach a certain material standard. I think that this race to ever more progress cannot really be sustainable because of limited resources and because probably we will reach a plateau at some time.
So what should we change?
What should we change? I think that the idea that we transform resources into products in order to make profit out of it, speaking very simply, as the baseline of how value is created, should be rethought. I think that human beings can contribute value to society in many different forms that are in new ways. And I think that we should change the way maybe we think about value production.
I think you'll see very interesting discussions about the future of our economy and society because our society is in a process of transformation now, driven by the digital revolution. And we will see a very different system and organization in a few decades.
In which speech are you most interested, besides your own speech?
I'm not giving a speech over here, I'm moderating some talks. But I'd really like to see a variety of ideas of how we can improve our economic system. And certainly what is important here is that we need to become more sustainable. It's clear that our current economic system is not doing very well, in particular in Europe. We have a lot of unemployment, in particular youth unemployment. It can't stay like this, and we need new ideas. We need to reinvent ourselves and the entire system. And it's not that difficult, in fact. There's some small details that need to change. We can now use the Internet of Things, actually, to measure the external effects of decisions and actions, and in this way also become much more efficient, much more sustainable, build self-organizing systems, and all these kind of things. So with some small changes, actually, to our current system, will become so much more efficient and sustainable, and we need to build the technology for this now.
Okay, and what do you think? Where do we stand in 30 years?
Well, we'll go through a difficult period because artificial intelligence will probably take away a lot of jobs that people are doing today. It will be difficult to grow new jobs, enough new jobs within this short time, and we'll have to reinvent half of our economy. That other half of the economy will be organized in a different way. In the past, people have made money mainly by rationalization, by economies of scale. In the future, we'll have another kind of economy besides that, which is based on co-creation, and in particular in the immaterial world. I mean, with the possibility of the digitization, basically there are new ways of creating value in virtual worlds, and we need to learn how to do that. In a sense, we are now in a transformation from a material world towards a less and less material world that is made up of information and ideas. And that means there is an emancipation process going on of people to overcome the limitations of the material world and basically discover these infinite opportunities of the immaterial world. And those two worlds will interact with each other closely. And I think if we learn to do that, we'll be living in a better world in a few decades.
Welche Erwartungen haben Sie an den 14. Wissenschaftsdialog?
Naja, für mich heißt das zunächst einmal, dass der Dialog stattfindet, nicht nur zwischen verschiedenen Ökonomen, sondern auch zwischen verschiedenen wissenschaftlichen Disziplinen. Das heißt in meinem Fall auch zwischen den Geisteswissenschaften und den Wirtschaftswissenschaften und natürlich auch, muss man sagen, den Vertretern der neueren Technologien, weil wenn wir über Ökonomien der Zukunft reden, heißt das, wir müssen auch überlegen, wie sich die Zukunft organisieren wird.
Welches Referat interessiert Sie nebst Ihrem eigenen am meisten?
Mich interessiert am meisten eigentlich der morgige Vortrag von Hannes Grasegger, weil Hannes Grasegger ein ausgewiesener Experte ist für das Datenwesen und die Frage, wie wir eigentlich Wirtschaft betreiben in einer Zeit, in der es immer weniger um Geld geht und um Umsatz geht, sondern immer mehr um Informationen und Informationen eigentlich unsere Währung werden. Das interessiert mich.
Und glauben Sie, dass unser aktuelles Wirtschaftssystem zukunftsfähig ist?
Also zukunftsfähig ist ja immer nur das System, das auch entwicklungsfähig ist. Das heißt, wenn es nicht entwicklungsfähig ist, sondern meint, es kann sich als ein solches behaupten, hat es keine Zukunft. Zukunftsfähig ist es nur, wenn es in der Lage ist, auch sich über sich hinaus zu entwickeln.
Was glauben Sie, wo stehen wir in 30 Jahren?
Ich glaube, dass wir uns das heute noch gar nicht vorstellen können, aber ich glaube, wenn wir einen Weg beschreiten wollen, an dessen Ende eine Wirtschaft steht, in der wir heute schon gerne leben würden, dann muss das eine Wirtschaft sein, die viel stärker auf die Prinzipien von Resilienz ausgerichtet ist, die viel mehr nachdenkt über globale Gerechtigkeit, die vor allem auch dezentraler ist und mit wesentlich stärker auf Prinzipien der Diversifizierung achtet. Das heißt, es darf eigentlich gerade keine Wirtschaft sein, die auf eine zentrale Globalsteuerung hinausläuft, sondern es muss vielmehr um Diversifizierung gehen, um kleinere, autarkere Wirtschaftssysteme, um Pluralismus.
Well, first of all, let me say I'm delighted to be here. You have a beautiful alpine resort in Engelberg, and there's much to learn from seeing how well you organize up here. My expectations, I would like to have an opportunity to interact with others who are also looking at the future of economic systems and what needs to be done to improve the situation of everyone on our planet. I will give a perspective of my own, and I hope through the discussions we have, we'll be able to better progress the changes that need to be made in our lifetime to improve our situation on Earth.
What do you think? Is our economic system competitive to the future?
Yes, I am very impressed. I should tell you, I've had the privilege of being in Switzerland before, and many years ago, in 1987, I think, I visited St. Gallen, and that was the first time I saw the computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, and I was extremely impressed. I really appreciate what Switzerland is doing in terms of technical and vocational training. I think you're on the right path. We cannot merely focus on education. We have to go beyond that in providing work opportunities suitable for everyone so that they can find the right place in their future as they go beyond a mere formal education. In that, I think even what you're doing at the Engelberg Academy and bringing people together with different viewpoints is a very good way to go.
And where do we stand in 30 years? What do you think?
Well, in 15 years, we will be reviewing our Sustainable Development Goals. So in 30 years, I hope we can take it even further. And my main interest, I think, when I look at the world, is to try and see how we can pull up the bottom. You know, the people who are suffering in grinding poverty. And that is something I would like to see. Switzerland is in a happy situation. Many people are well off here. And if you look at the inequality levels, they're not so high. But when we talk of concerns for future generations, concern for others, we have to know that we have to equally be concerned about people in our generation. You cannot only say that I'm worried about people who are not yet born, and that is what I will like to preserve our oath for. But those who are born and who are suffering, I really don't care about them. That is not a compatible, not an appropriate way to go. So there's much that can be done, and I hope through exchanges like this, we will be able to make a small contribution in improving the situation of everyone on our planet.